I'm Kyle. This is my wife, Kirsta. In 2020, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. When I was 37 years old, we had been married about 13 years, had 2 girls, 5 and 8 years old. I was diagnosed with lymphoma. I was experiencing back pain. That was pretty much it. It was only when I was laying down, no other symptoms. Went to get an MRI, got through like 15 minutes of it. It was too painful, couldn't finish. By the time I got home, they called me and said, you need to go to the local cancer hospital. So I had a foot-long mass. It was like 18 inches, I think, in my chest. It turned out to be non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, incredibly aggressive. They described it like a runaway train. So we go through the regular treatment. It's like 6 rounds of chemo. I start to go back to work, and right at the end, they're like, we think you're in remission. There's these 2 spots on your chest that were there like from the beginning. Turned out to be thyroid cancer, completely unrelated. Some of the treatments were just really hard, particularly with COVID.
Caring for Kyle was really natural, and we'd have a pretty easy marriage until then. And so it was great to have an opportunity to show him that I'm here and I love him no matter what state he's in. The complexity of it was compounded when 3 months in, COVID hit, and our community gets ripped out from under us because of COVID. And yeah, there were many highs and lows, and good portions of it were just survival, get through it. I had to learn to rely on the Lord in a completely new way. I wouldn't say it was fun, but it was good. Yeah, and my faith in the Lord's goodness and capacity to connect with me has grown exponentially.
I think cancer is often much harder on the caregivers than it is on the person going through it. I was asleep or in the hospital, out of it on drugs or whatever for a lot of the time. She's dealing with the kids. She's taking care of me. She's answering all the questions. And everybody that talks to her is asking how I'm doing. They're not really asking how she's doing. And it's incredibly hard.
I found I have a lot more capacity to do things than I thought I did. And it was good for Kyle to see that he really can be completely dependent, and it's okay. It doesn't ruin anything. It doesn't crush anything. It was so encouraging when people would reach out and be like, I don't know you, but someone gave me your caring bridge, and what the Lord's been doing and how you're processing this is so encouraging.
I've been through a bunch of diagnoses. I know what it's like. And I had a great community. I can't imagine what this would be like if we didn't have that community, if the Lord hadn't prepared me. And so part of what I felt like the Lord's been asking me since then, the last 3 years, is to actually get involved with people who are getting diagnosed, which is why I love Take Heart. It came along at the exact right time for me. It's been wonderful to feel like the Lord's given me a desire to help others, and then Take Heart's provided just an amazing outlet for that.
Hope for me became really complicated. I really found out that you don't hope alone, and that it's okay if you lose hope and you just can't hope anymore. And then that's when other people can hope for you. I was so exhausted by trying to keep hoping. And I've also discovered that the worst can happen and God can still be good. It always feels good to give back to other people, and it creates a purpose in the pain beyond just for ourselves.
Right after I found out about the Take Heart groups, we were kind of exploring what it would look like to run one at our church. And I had 3 days in a row, close friends and family diagnosed with cancer, like back to back to back. I think one thing that's been interesting with her dad being diagnosed with bladder cancer is that he's been sharing how much our story and my cancer diagnoses kind of prepared him for what he's going through now. That's why groups like this exist. That's what it's all about, is helping other people walk through the path that we've been through, and just helping people work through hope, work through God's faithfulness, and where God can be at in their story.